Hi, everybody. Happy to have you here. Happy to be here. I hope everybody had a really restful and joyful weekend and that you are coming back feeling refreshed and renewed after the long holiday weekend. So I wanted to come in and I'm doing a regular anti-hustle business training every Monday in the group. And I know that I am late today, but usually it will be at 12 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. So mark your calendar. And then I will also be putting the invites into the group so that you can see them. But I just wanted to come in here today and talk to you, and I have my notes, of course, so I can stay on track, about 6 simple strategies for making consistent sales. I know that this is something that we all want more of, that we wish felt easier, and we want a sense of ease around it. And so I wanted to share some of my thoughts around this, and am happy to hear as I'm going through this. If you're joining live or watching the replay, would love to have you let us know that you're here and yeah, what you're taking away from this and what you're committing to after watching this. So I have 6 steps or 6 bullet points basically that I just wanted to share and kind of riff on and give you my thoughts about this. So first and foremost, the first one is to build relationships. So sales is all about trust. It's all about relationships. And the first thing that you want to do, no matter where you are in your business, is to really focus on nurturing the relationships. And there are different seasons in your business. There is a launch season, there's a community nurture, there's community growth, and sometimes you can do all 3 at the same time. And also, while you are, and I've talked about this before, but when you are in a launch cycle, you want to focus on the people that you've already built relationships with. So that's why it's important when you're in between launches that you don't disappear, that like if you're in between selling things, that you don't disappear, that you don't stop emailing your list, that you don't stop providing lots of value and showing up and doing the things like doing Facebook Lives, right? Because when you're basically in your off season, you want to be and you want to move into a growth, community growth, and a community nurture cycle. And so that's where you're just going to pour into your community. Maybe you have like a free offer, or you're doing workshops, or you're doing some sort of free thing, right? Where you're really nurturing them and you're showing up and you're building that relationship. You're giving them small, digestible pieces of like actionable items that they can start to practice. They can start to try on. They can, and it doesn't have to be like something huge, right? Like it could even just be journal prompts. It could be something like this, where I'm sharing with you today 6 different strategies, simple strategies that you can start to really focus on and implement in your business to start seeing a shift. So then when I move into, because the mastermind launch is next, when I move into the mastermind launch and start selling, you've had weeks of me showing up, giving you lots of content, you're taking away and you're starting to learn and get an idea of, right? So like I'm nurturing the community, I'm growing the community. So I'm inviting people into the group, right? I'll be doing Facebook Lives on my main page. I'll be inviting people to join the wait list, right? So I'm building, growing, nurturing. And then when it's time to sell, you sell to the people that you've already been building relationships with. Those are the easiest people to sell to. They trust you. You've been helping them. They've probably been following you for a long time, right? That's usually how it goes. So number 1 is really focus, like I said, no matter where you are, really focus on taking the time to get to know your clients, get to know your community, and really develop that rapport with them. Really start to get to know what they're looking for, pay attention to the questions that they're asking, pay attention to what they're coming to you for. So then it can lead to them investing and joining your programs, and ideally repeat business, repeat customers, and referrals. So number 2, now this is really, so it's offering personalized solutions. So this can look at different ways, right? So maybe you, and I've done this before where like I have my set programs, I have Anti-Hustle Business School, I have the mastermind, I have different things, but sometimes people come to me and I don't necessarily have like on my list of things, like what they're looking for. And you're the boss, right? Like you get to create things on the fly. So if there's somebody who's coming to you and it maybe doesn't feel ethical to sell them your 6-month program, you could offer them a 3-month program. That's not what you're leading with, right? Like in public, but you can also have that in your back pocket. I used to do, or I've done like I think it was like a 6-week, I think it was like a 6-week social media audit where, or maybe it was, I don't remember what it was. It was so long ago. It was a couple years ago. But I sold a couple of them, like I sold a bunch of them, just like boom, boom, boom. I was like, oh, I guess people want this, right? Where I audited their social media and gave them feedback. But it was something that I just created on the fly because there were a couple of people that came to me and said, hey, like, I need to know how to use my social media and like optimize my Facebook and my Instagram. Can you just do an audit? Tell me where you see I have some gaps and do some coaching around my visibility. So I created this program. So you can create tailor-made services that really meet the different and unique needs of each client. I am definitely a proponent of having some core programs that you have. So whether you're focusing on building your one-on-one, or maybe if you have your one-on-one and maybe a group, or you're doing a retreat or that sort of thing, I definitely recommend having those things in your business model so that you and then eventually your team knows like what's being launched when. But if you get on the phone with somebody and you realize that, you know, maybe the services that you have don't actually like fit the need of what this specific person's looking for, you can always say like, hey, I'm down to create like a customized package for you if that's something that you want to do. Let's talk about what that could look like. So just know that that's always available and in your back pocket. So number 3, focus on customer service. I always forget my alarm goes off at 8 o'clock to tell me to start getting ready for bed. Focus on customer service. So you really want to make sure that you are providing an excellent experience for all of your clients. And you want to ideally exceed their expectations, right? So you want this to be a streamlined, fun, simple process for them. It really builds the trust. It builds the loyalty. They know that they can depend on you. They know that they can come to you with any feedback or any questions or like suggestions, like, hey, I'm not actually getting what I need from the program or from this. Can I offer you my feedback? And it's your opportunity to, sometimes it's hard to receive feedback, right? And that is your shit to work out, to not be super sensitive and to take it in and to see if there, what the opportunity is for you, right? And so if someone's coming back saying, hey, this program, like maybe it's not what I thought it was, like, where do you need to tighten stuff up? Do you need to tighten up your sales page? Do you need to have an FAQ so that like these questions are answered? What's yours? What's theirs? What's the opportunity here? And if it's something simple, then you can say like, hey, I totally appreciate this feedback and thank you for sharing this. I will, and also like when I get feedback too, it's like, thank you for giving me the opportunity to make this improvement, because if people don't tell me what's not working, how the fuck am I supposed to know? I can gauge, right? So like in the mastermind, and I'm going to talk about this in just a minute, like I have noticed some patterns and some things that have happened, or maybe things that haven't been happening with the clients in the mastermind. And so that's why I made some changes for this next round that I'm super fucking stoked about, that I'm going to talk about, because I saw some gaps. And the feedback that I got was great, from the people who have signed back on, that this fills some of the problems that they were having, or maybe they like weren't getting exactly what they needed. And so I was able, from my lens, to see what could be changed or added in order to fill some gaps in there. So that's my commitment to my clients and to the customer service, to make sure that, and this is also too, right? Like, when you are running the same program over and over, it gives you an opportunity to make small changes that have a huge, huge effect on the customer service, on the relationship that you're building with your clients. It makes a huge difference in the value of the program, right? So I'm making some small changes that actually, I feel like they're kind of big changes, but I'm not changing like the launch or anything like that. I'm just making some tweaks with the program. I've run the mastermind multiple times, and this is the beauty of running the same program over and over again, because you can start to see where maybe people fall off, or where you can up the value, where you can bring in guests, where you can do different things. But if you're constantly churning and like, oh, that program didn't sell, so I'm just going to create this new program, you don't give yourself the opportunity to improve upon what you're doing. And you don't give your clients and the community an opportunity to like really understand what you're selling and why they need it, how this will help them, all of those things. So that's number 3, focus on customer service. Really commit to this, because this is obviously what's going to impact your business. If you have shitty customer service, if you don't have happy customers, people are going to tell their friends, right? Like, they're going to tell other people that was like a horrible experience and I wouldn't recommend them. And so really make this a priority, that the customer service experience, whether that's be billing, whether that be, if they're emailing you, what their experience is in the Facebook groups that you have and that sort of thing, really make sure to focus on that and to prioritize that, and to have your team prioritize that. So number 4, and I'm going to see if there's any comments. Okay. So number 4, continuously improve. So this is an opportunity for you to keep growing as a coach, as a service provider, keep learning and growing as a professional, so that you can really offer just really powerful transformations and solutions to your clients. So this is one reason. So one of the changes that I made in the mastermind for the next round is that I'm going to be adding on a coach training / coach mentoring call every month, because what I've noticed is that when coaches feel more confident about their skills as a coach, they are more confident in selling them. There's so much fear around, especially for the people in the essential pod, which is the 0 to 5K clients, where it's worried about being seen as a fraud, maybe not having like the testimonials that you want to have yet, or not having the one-on-one sold out or really built out yet. And so there's this worry that if they get into the program, they're going to see that like, I'm not very good, or I'm not very confident as a coach. So I really wanted to offer this, because I used to be a coach trainer. I was a mentor coach for years. I fucking loved that part of my job. I'm really good at it. And so I wanted to be able to, one, use that skill set, because it's just been sitting there. I don't have anywhere to use it. And so I thought, what a better way to start to bring that into the mastermind, because I want my clients to be not just better business owners and to make more money, but I want also all of my clients to feel more confident as a coach. I want to help develop them as coaches so that they feel and know and trust that they can handle anything that might come up in a coaching relationship. So we're going to talk about client confidentiality. We're going to talk about coaching at a higher gradient. So, lovingly calling people out versus being super direct and like what that feels like. We're going to talk about the core competencies. So I'm an ICF credentialed coach. So we're definitely going to talk about the core competencies and give you just a taste of like what those codes look like the code of ethics of the ICF, but then also like the real core tenets of being a coach as from the International Coaching Federation. So there's lots of stuff. And I want this I'm offering this and adding this because I want to help you improve as a coach. And there is a lot of focus in the industry around building your business and getting hired. And I totally get it. And I also feel that there's not enough focus around honing your skills, your actual skills as a coach. One of the things I love about being part of the ICF is that I have to get continuing education units. So I'm taking courses and I'm always going back to school, or I'm always in some program, right? To really work on my personal and professional development. So that's why I added this into the next round of the mastermind. So number 5, obviously utilize social media. So social media is free marketing. It is a way to connect with potential clients and to really share your valuable content, to share your expertise. Doing stuff like video allows people to get to know you better. You can get a feel for my sense of humor and my energy and how I communicate so much better in a video versus if you're just reading the content, right? And I have clients and people say, I read this in your voice and I can hear you in my head. Perfect. That's exactly where I want you to be. Because you start to and a lot of the work that I do with my clients too is like telling them the same shit over and over and over again, because sometimes it takes a lot to sink in. So when we are talking about mindset and embodiment and energetics, and are you regulated? Did you take care of yourself today? What's the have you followed the simple strategy that we created for you? They hear me in their head because we've worked together or they've seen me on a video and they can use that, right? So highly recommend video, highly recommend reels, although Instagram is not prioritizing reels like they used to. So you're kind of off the hook, but studies have shown that video is the best way to convert, and that people just really, they want like quick little snippets of information. They want to see you, they want to get a feel for you, and then they want to move on, right? So utilize social media, use it in your favor, figure out where you can stay consistent and what you can stay how. Maybe it's just doing reels, maybe it's just doing Facebook lives, maybe it's just posting, but how you can stay consistent, do that, utilize that, and really start to build again the trust and build that rapport with your community members. So number 6, provide ongoing support. So one of the things that I teach my clients in the mastermind is because depending on what pod you're in, but for all of the people who are in the mastermind, my goal is to help you really create programs that make sense for one another. So if you look at the programs that I have, for example, I have Anti-Hustle Business School, which then ends right when the mastermind is getting started. So there are going to be some people who are in biz school who are perfect for the mastermind and will then move into that next level. there are going to be a lot of people who aren't ready for the mastermind yet. And so then after the mastermind launch is the launch for Ignite, which is my social media marketing program. So they'll have that program to join and get support around visibility wounds, showing up on social media, how to sell on social media, how to really show up unapologetically. Then once that program's done, guess what? The mastermind launch is after that. So there's going to be people who are ready to join the mastermind at that time. So each of these programs lead into one another. There's nothing worse than creating something and then like not having anything to offer them after that. So they just kind of like fall off because you've created this program and like, that's it. See you later. Like I have no way to continue supporting you. So what we're doing in the mastermind is I'm helping my clients start to look forward and see, where are you going? What do you want your business to look like in the next year, 2 years, 3 years? And then we start to layer on the programs in a way that is strategic. Slow and steady wins the race. We are not in a fucking rush. When you are rushing and hustling, that is the fastest way to burn out. It's the fastest way to just like not have things go like as planned, not have a strategic way of doing things. You're typically throwing spaghetti at the wall and just like hoping it sticks, right? So what I'm teaching in the mastermind is how to play the long game and start to look forward about how to make things go in a sequential order so that you can have that consistent reoccurring revenue that you want, whatever level you're at. If it's your first 5K month, 10K month, 15, 20K, wherever you're going, there's 2 pods of the mastermind. So I got you for whichever level you're at, if you're moving into your first 5 or 6K, or if you're moving into 10 and 15K months, there's 2 separate pods. So those are my 6 tips, my 6 simple strategies. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. And let me see if anyone, I see that there's people. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions and you can pop those into the chat and then I will answer them when I see them. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you next week on Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern. See you later. Bye.